Welcome to our Rolemaster Actual play session. Twilight of the Old Order is a campaign set in the world of Duyranaki, the continent of men. In this gritty, cutthroat world, politics, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 171 of Twilight of the Old Order. The Twilight Party, after recouping and recovering, have decided to seek out their foe, the leadership of the Committee for the New Age. We pick up the story as our heroes scramble to find a place to hide as they hear the sound of panicked horses rapidly approaching from behind them. Good evening. My name is Chris, alternatively known on this channel as GM Chance, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our story tonight. The story that we're telling this evening, well, the title is up on screen. Twilight of the Old Order is the name of our game. What is the game we're playing? The system that we're playing is a tabletop role-playing system dating all the way back to last century, to the 1980s, in fact. That system is called Rolemaster. Quite a crunchy role-playing system, and I've been playing it since the 1980s and love it. We're playing a game, and to play a game, a role-playing game, and ultimately tell a story, you need protagonists, you need heroes, you need people that are going to provide death-defying stunts, amazing elements of trickery, incredible acts of emotion and pathos, and just general entertainment value. And up on screen, no pressure to my players, but up on screen are the faces, the 6 faces of the characters that are in play this evening. In a second or so, we're going to hand over to the players of those characters to introduce the character or potentially characters that they may play a little bit more. But before we do so, my habitual, regular, but very sincere thank you to all of the people that follow us, that take an interest in this, which is ultimately our hobby, and would be doing it anyway, and the fact that we can share it with the rest of the world is a real bonus. A thank you to all of those that support us and just generally provide encouragement. A piece of strong encouragement would be probably the best way to describe. Anybody who maybe has come across us previously, but you haven't taken the plunge to spend literally a couple of seconds of your time to click a couple of buttons down below, either a like or even better, a subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. I don't think there's a YouTube channel in existence that doesn't have some kind of message about this, but it really is true. Having more subscribers means the YouTube algorithm does promote and spread a particular channel more widely, and ultimately, in this case, it helps other people like you, people that are interested in our stories, find our content. A couple of seconds from you really does help, and we would really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, I've just seen we've had a couple of instances of technical difficulty, but I see that we have previously disconnected players now back, so we're in full quorum, which is fantastic. And we're going to start off tonight with character development questions, which tease out a little bit more information about the characters that these people play. And tonight, we're starting with Pete. Pete, the mic is yours.
Cool. Thank you. Kia ora, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing Nicholas tonight. Question to answer for Nicholas is, how does your character feel about the concept of honour? Personally, it's bloody inconvenient. So his people, there's a tradition in his people. It's an honour tradition, basically, some sort of backwards thing, where someone from a rival tribe can come and steal something from you, and you're honour bound to pursue that person and try and get it back. And you're welcome to, it's sort of within the law of this tradition to kill that person if you get the opportunity. Nicholas, unfortunately, that's why he's that's what initiated his adventure. Someone came and stole a ring from his family. He has got no truck with this tradition. It's just nonsense to him, really. But his mother is particularly traditional and impressed on him that he is honour bound to pursue this werehull tradition. He finds it very inconvenient, and thinks it's nonsense. So as far as honour honour as a concept, it's nice for other people. It's interesting to observe in other people from Nicholas's point of view. People do the stupidest things, and it's like, really, okay, that's interesting behaviour. But as far as for him, he's not interested in it. It's different. I suppose honour is different from morals. He will do things when he feels bad about things, but not to sort of maintain his personal honour. He finds that nonsense as far as it applies to him. He understands when it applies to other people, and that's great. But yeah, not for him.
Cool.
And can we please hear from Graham?
Sure. Thank you, Pete. I'm playing a couple of characters tonight. The first of whom is Severin. And he's going to answer the question, how does your character feel about the concept of honour? Severin is from a small village. He was brought up Roldanic. He's no longer really that interested in Roldanicism after seeing the two factions fighting it out over virtually nothing, and thought it was pretty sad. But nonetheless, he was brought up with a pretty strong moral code that came from the church, and he sort of follows that. He is by nature fair. He, is interested in protecting the weak against the strong. He is anti-discrimination, but he's not. He's no paladin. He's a goodly man, but he doesn't have any honor code to follow. So sometimes needs must. And he's not, obviously, he's, not against violence as a concept, but violence is generally proportionate. But, sometimes, I don't think he's ever done anything that nasty, but sometimes, difficult decisions need to be made. We have adversaries, they attack us, they're in the wrong place, well, so be it. And that's the name of the game. So he's no paladin, but he's not a bad chap either. Turning to Tenya. What's the most prestigious award or recognition your character has received? Well, way back when, we liberated or saved an military outpost, from a lot of purple lizards and a rogue mage. And we won a lot of accolades. We were well rewarded, and we were marched back into the local city as saviors, as heroes of Narth, we were called at the time, and crowds were out calling our names, which felt weird and okay at the time, but of course, it's Rolemaster, so it went against us quite horribly, and loads of spy agencies became interested in this and tried to kill us. So it's you think it's a good thing, but it's not. But we got some gold, and that bought a sword and a bow, so wasn't all bad. Anyway, yes, that's enough about me. Turning over to Giles.
Just before that, just to note, was it that it's Rolemaster and that happened, or was it other reasons that happened? But anyway, what I was going to say was, and I should have mentioned at the beginning, we've been playing for a very long time. we only started recording about 2 or 3 years ago at the end of 2022. So some of this party's escapades and adventures are not recorded. So that was one of those situations that happened before we started recording. Thank you, Graham. Giles, over to you.
I think it's an interesting question, Chris. So for Yotto, I also would answer the question, how does your character feel about the concept of honour? And it's clearly got us all thinking. Just a little bit of background. Yotto's parents, an interesting couple. His dad worked in a local village, comb-maker of lowly birth. His mum, however, was the great samurai of Nozajimaki. So he grew up in the region of Nozajimaki. I've been practicing in a small town called Haggai. And so was brought up deeply imbued in the concept of honour, right? So honour above all, really. However, when he was 90, so pretty young for an elf, he saw his hometown sacked. He saw his mother defeated in battle, which really required of her the act of seppuku, much as it is in Japan. However, she elected not to follow the honourable course and instead to defend both Yotto and his father from the attackers. She fought them off. She was killed in battle. They escaped. And clearly, although this is an egregious breach of honour, Yotto clearly benefited, as did his father, and that kind of upset the apple cart in terms of his thinking about the honourable course of action. And so, though I think he'd describe himself as an honourable man or honourable elf, he wouldn't see notions of honour following a strict code anymore, but rather following a more virtuous code, which aligns nicely with his sorts of religious beliefs in Dio. So the honour really is about protecting others, thinking through nature, being quiet, meditating to get the advice of the gods and that sort of thing. So not honour in a medieval sense, or in a kind of a hierarchical sense. And outside one or two particular areas, that's how he tries to live his life.
Cool. Fantastic.
With that, we'll pass over to Star.
Well, honour's a heavy thing for Jada as well.
Popular question.
Yeah, sometimes, it means doing what's right when it hurts the most, which we do a lot of in this game. Making enemies when it would sometimes be easier to just take the easy road and stay quiet. She doesn't always live up to it, but she certainly tries. Yeah, honour's a big thing for her.
Cool. Last one, thank you. We have one last player to hear from. Anthony.
So Eskel is also going for honour question.
Wow.
Actually, no, jokes. He's not.
Oh.
Just to get you going. So Eskel is doing what's the most exhilarating moment you've ever experienced. He's actually going to go moments. Eskel loves flying. Like, when you have the opportunity to cast fly spells and move around, he really loves it. There's, I guess nothing more, exhilarating or freeing as feeling like a bird or giant winged beasts. And not that Eskel's fly one spell is at any great rate of knots at only 30 feet per round as opposed to standard 75. But he still finds it very enjoyable.
Excellent.
That's Alec Eskel's moments.
Marvellous. Excellent. Thank you, one and all. And both Star and Anthony, you'd had some technical difficulties, but great you've been able to rejoin us. Fantastic. So, gentle viewer, gentle listener, that's the team. You've heard from all the players. And now, up on screen, as you can see, they're all the characters with their names. And also, Pete, thank you very much. Those are the questions that I sent out earlier in the week. Now is the time we turn to our scribe, Pete, to provide us with a bit of a sense of what happened last session. Pete, just when you're ready, the mic is all yours.
Thank you very much. So, the last session began after we had sort of just made it to the entrance of the complex that we had been sort of working our way through. Thank you very much. Perfect. So we found ourselves with an entrance on a sheer cliff, 700-800 feet to a valley floor, and we started with a bit of so that was the exit. We started with a bit of a chat of what to do next, and how to get down, but also how to go and investigate some of the chests further back in the complex that we'd sort of passed by. Always on the look for items, particularly PowerPoint model players. So whilst Nicholas went through the strange sort of magical barrier, it seems like. A bit of a resistance roll to get through, but you have to sort of force your way through. And Severin came through as well, and Nicholas flew both of those characters down to the valley floor. They found a sort of a hiding, a very sort of sheltered spot to be in. Jada and Askell and Yotto went back into the complex to the room that would come through, which had sort of crates and boxes in it, but also these really odd apparitions, these sort of spirit creatures, sort of maybe illusions, not quite sure, but they could walk through walls and that sort of a thing. So not too sure what their deal was. I think Jada and Askell and Yotto sort of was starting to investigate these crates, but happened to bump into some of them, and that seemed to make these creatures these sort of winged creatures or nature creatures start to notice them, which would be a bit freaky. I thought they got a bit agitated, perhaps. The creatures did. So they decided that was enough of that. We didn't really want to risk any sort of confrontation with these. We don't know what their power was, if they could kill us or whatever. So they retreated and made their way through the magical barrier as well, sort of to the outside. And then we all have flown down to the valley floor. We're sort of perhaps done with that complex. I suppose we can always retreat to it if we need to. On the valley floor, we'd seen further up the valley and down the valley, there's a view down the valley to what we're assuming was the Star's Grave, that circle at the far end. We've seen that in visions, and we know that there's perhaps where a star crashed or whatever. Further up the valley, we had visions we'd previously had sort of armies conflicting and fighting. So we know that's sort of perhaps the direction we need to go. That's the vibe we're getting, reluctantly. So these visions from the past, but they were further up the valley. So that's where there's an image of the valley. So to the left is down towards the Star's Grave, to the right is up to where we're heading. So we found a cave to shelter in after refilling our water bottles with ice. With the snow, it's a very cold environment, and quite barren, very barren. But we slept the night, I think, yes, in a cave. And decided we did a bit of an attunement. I think we found out what that wonderful horn, that drinking horn, does. But the next day we decided there it is there, and we can put different sort of liquids, drinks into it, and they give the drinker different abilities from different spell lists. Really quite a powerful item. We don't have many of those liquids. I think we've got water, but we don't have mead or whatever the other ones were. But useful. It seems like a really cool item, but perhaps not quite at the moment. We decided we'd start making our way towards the far end of the valley, where we'd also seen movement and actual real people there rather than just a vision. And we're figuring those are the people from Tarong, and they're probably preparing for day 0. We don't know what what date it is, because we figured out that we've had at least perhaps one when we arrived in this complex through a teleportation device, but perhaps a second one when we went from inside the complex through this magical barrier to outside. Perhaps 2 times that we've actually skipped somehow ahead in time. We've passing through those sort of portals has taken more time than we experienced. We'd been moving our way up the valley. We'd come to a bit where the valley split. There was a large rock in the middle, but we think it sort of rejoined perhaps afterwards. We can't be quite so sure. We took the shadier side as we're trying to, or the shadowier side because we're trying to keep out of sight of people and things like that. We'd made our way just into the beginning of it when we heard, I think, the sort of horses, thundering of horses and screaming of horses and a horn, someone winding a horn. So like, oh, okay, might be people on these horses or might be people chasing these horses. Not sure what's happening. We want to hide. We want to get out of sight because we're trying to be undetected until we can sort of get the lie of the land and sort of creep up on where the Tarong people are. We were scrabbling up to a cave, but and I think that's pretty much to try and conceal ourselves. I think that's pretty much where we are.
Perfect. Thanks, Pete. Any qualifying questions from anybody? Yet? Okay, very good. Let's crack into it. And let's start the game. Okay, so we are into rounds. We are... Oops, new encounter, thank you. Rolling initiative. We are rolling initiative. Bang, bang, bang. And we are off. The first person to act is Jada. So some people were scrambling up towards this cave. I can't remember how far Jada was getting up to it. What is she doing, please?
Does anyone remember who I'm with? Because I just want to be behind them, not going in first.
Okay.
So I'll carry on up, but I'm just, never going first, you know me.
Sure thing. Cool. Moving on. Moving on. Yotto is next.
Jolly good, Chris. So I think Yotto will do a 30% perception, and he wants to have a look and see how realistic it is to get into this itsy-bitsy hole, and if he can tell how likely it is, A, they're going to get there, and B, how deep we're going to get. So extremely specific on what he's after, Chris.
Okay. Okay. Yep, give me a roll. Give me a roll.
$25.
Cool. And perception, please.
I think 54.
Cool.
Plus 20, I hope, for something very specific.
Right. I mean, he thinks that it's not great coverage. So specifically, what was he saying?
What he wanted to do was look at this hole. I mean, there's a whole bunch of us, and it's an itsy-bitsy hole that's hard to get into. I mean,
yeah,
he's starting to think this is not our cleverest plan.
Right.
And so he was looking, very explicitly to see, is there a nice clean pathway up, and does it clearly open up into something big? Or is this us being idiots, which is kind of what he's thinking.
Right. So it's hard to get up. You'll recall it needed some maneuver rolls to get up. And ultimately, it's quite a scrape. It would be challenging to conceal all of you.
In which case, I think what Yotto's going to do is say, I think we need to get further up the valley, and with the last 70% of his action, bearing in mind he can hear these horses, he's going to take off
Cool.
at a run up the valley and sort of wave for people to follow him, starting to trust his party.
Cool. What's double his movement rate, please?
It's 150.
150. Thank you.
And it'll be minus 30 because he's used
Sure.
30% of his action.
Cool.
Or
Thanks.
minus 45, actually, my apologies.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Charles.
105.
Yep. So we'll move it up to about there.
Yeah, and he'll obviously, if it's a little bit earlier and there's a sort of a natural lee in the rock or protection, he'll stop there. But yep, he's bailage.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. So that was, I think, Yotto there. 150. So probably a little bit further back. He's about there.
Excellent, Chris. Thank you very much.
Cool. So Yotto, reasonably, where you're running, reasonably flat terrain, no maneuver rolls. And I did mention sometimes this map could be a little bit janky even further into the complex, and that's what I was trying to show. He's obviously on the ground, but he's slightly raised there. Cool. That's great. Next up is Severin.
Yeah, Severin concurs. He's going to take off up the valley, urging everyone to follow. Look for a cave. Look for a cave we can fit in.
Cool.
And hide in.
Cool. How far can Severin move, please? And around.
The base movement is 55, so he can go double that, at least. But he wants to be able to look around as he's running.
Got it.
Just looking for any kind of cave.
So slightly behind Yotto, he gets to gets to about here. No. Yeah. Has the GM, what's the phrase? Hoisted by his own petard? I have created too big a map. There we go. Severin, you're kind of there-ish. I'm not going to mess around with you. You're a little bit behind Yotto, but you're keeping on going. You're looking great. Thank you. Askell.
Askell will follow Severin, and after hearing what he said, just to move that direction and also be keeping an eye out for a cave.
Got it.
And I'll just note that I am stuck only on my cell phone at the moment, so I cannot see anything. I'm having several technical issues at this end.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, thank you. I'll move the counter down. I did mention, by the way, every now and then in this place there were these weird whispers or these strange sounds, of which you just heard one. So, Askell, how far can you move in around, please?
I think it's 60 as base.
Cool, so 120, so around about, not a million miles behind Severin. But Yotto is currently leading the charge. Okay, so about there.
Okay.
Lovely. That's great.
Sweet.
Next on in my list is Tanya. Is Tanya doing anything different?
She's also perceiving desperately for any crevice that the puppet will crawl into, but otherwise, yeah, base movement rate 60.
Cool. So around about, damn it, yep, around about the same in that area with those two characters. Cool. And Nicholas, anything different for you?
No, same, exactly the same.
Cool. So
Yep, same base movement as well, 60.
great, thank you. So same counter there. Excellent, thank you. And Jada, you've been back here doing other activities this round. Moving on, that is the end of the round. So the sound of these horses is still some way off. You'd been startled perhaps a little bit by the panic of the neighing of the horses initially, but yeah, they're still some way away, you think. That's the end of the round. Rolling initiative. And I might just switch down my horsey sounds just a smidge. Yeah, so there is the sound of horses behind you, and every now and then you hear a very, very panicked, clearly not happy with what's going on. Whatever that is. Next round. Starting off with boom, boom, boom. Jada, you are first to act. You are very speedy. You have just seen your companions say, "Let's leg it," and are moving down the valley. What are you doing, please?
Oh no, I hate being last just as much as first, so I'm going to catch up.
Okay. So you're probably, how far does she travel on a run, please?
She travels at 65.
65.
Oh, run.
Yep. So
Times 2.
double that.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're about there. So let's see if this map is going to play nice. Cross your fingers. No, almost. Almost. So you're running down here. Certainly, what you see that these you're looking for caves. These are all appear to be very shallow, very similar. Whatever's created them is very, very similar to what you saw last time. Jada, you're just kind of catching up to the heels of your compatriots, and they continue taking off in front of you. The next person to act is Yotto again. Yotto, I'd moved you here. You tell me where you were aiming to go. If something different.
So that's totally good. So essentially, what Yotto is going to do is keep legging it up the valley. Now the valley looks like it hangs left. Is that correct?
Well, this is what you're. Is that as far down? Yeah, there we go. So that's a Yotto eye view, assuming you're down to the ground. You can see this. So you can see that the valley does continue over here over pretty flat, open terrain, and the sides of these cliffs are very, very sheer. It certainly doesn't appear to be. And then this way, there is apparently more. Yeah, that's what you can see in this direction.
Okay, so if we zoom back out, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So so it's kind of like a little, just so you know, Anthony, a little right hand around a big rock, and then it sort of veers slightly left. Yotto knows he goes quicker than everyone else, so what he wants to do is, as quickly as possible, but he wants to perceive while he does it, his head around the right of that sort of outcropping.
Okay.
And he wants to go looking around there, and what he's looking for is there a place that we can find shelter? Is there a place we can hide?
Okay.
Are there people there? In his mind, he likes the idea of seeing who's coming, possibly with the idea of jumping on them. They need intel. Like, they need to know how long until the day of reckoning, who's got a couple of M4s of meat and wine. There's some intel he wants. So his ideal would be to nab them, and if he falls behind the party, doesn't matter, he can catch up.
Okay. How far can you move again, please? 150?
So at a run, it's going to be 150.
Okay, cool. So he can easily get up to here, and this is flat terrain, so I'm not going to ask for a maneuver roll. So Yotto, you belt all the way down here, all the way down, and you get to here. And this is, you tell me if you see anything on the way that you comment on or you make note of. So you sprint at some degree of speed around here, reasonably flat terrain. You do pass another relatively, very shallow. This is the others were kind of at least some feet deep. This one here is very, very shallow as well. It's almost only that deep. Very large on the rock. This chunk of rock is huge, as you can see, and slopes up. As you come around here, and you are of course on the ground, this is what you see, Yotto. So a bit of a drop in front of you, not massive, not awful, maybe twice the height of yourself. You can scramble down it. There are some other rocks around the sides, and then comes down to this area here,
which just looks flat, and there's that one single hole in the middle down there.
Yes.
Okay.
But
well, so
pretty rugged around the right hand side, for sure.
Okay, so he's come here at a run. And how far does he estimate this drop to be?
So, by the way, he hasn't used his full movement. That was 120. I think he can move 150. That there is. Whoa. Steady. Oh, no, it's not going to. Really, this map is not play ball. Call it, what is that? Twice his height? Maybe 2.5 times his height? It's about a 15, 16 foot drop. It's not horrendous. Further round, it does slope down, and there's more of a gentle, probably a scramble down a bank down here, a rock bank down here. But that's a reasonably sheer but short drop.
I think he'd ditch it over the edge. He's pretty good at this stuff, I think.
Okay.
Yep, go have a look around.
this round, could he do this in this round?
Okay. And if he
Yep.
could not, which
No.
is fine, he'd
Yeah.
hang left.
He would what? Sorry.
If he can't, if you don't think he can do it in this round, he'll hang left to get further around up and above up here
Okay.
to the scramble. If he can do it in this round, he'll hop down. If he can't do it in this round, he'll keep going around the side.
Okay. He doesn't think he can. So that's kind of the terrain he's in.
He's going to stay as close to the edge as he can, so we can hop down as soon as it looks practical and not too difficult.
Cool.
So yeah, he'd probably be lower down, Chris.
It's just more where the counter's going to let me go.
Thank you.
So he's coming down round this way. Cool. Done.
Correct. Thank you.
Anybody else doing
And I
something?
think yell back loudly, nothing to see.
Okay.
I think it's
Anybody else doing or going somewhere different? I'm not going to actually go through. Actually, no, I will. I'll just tell me if anybody's doing or saying anything or doing anything that I need to know about. Next is Askell to act.
No, Eskel, once again, I'm a bit blind.
You are okay.
Just following along.
Okay, done. Yep. Super. I'll move your counter. I'll move everybody's counter in due course. Nicholas is next.
He'll follow along. Just one question. What would happen if he wanted to move up a pace? So we've moved from. He could move up. It's two per round, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So,
Yep.
so he's running it. He's running it 2 times. He could theoretically move up to fast sprint, which is 4 times. What's the consequence? Or he could move to sprint, which is 3 times. What's the consequence of that, please?
Sure.
He's following Yotto.
Probably ask, because you are moving a lot faster. I'd ask for an easy maneuver in that case.
Easy. No, if I fumble this, he could fall over and injure himself. But if I just roll poorly, then he just won't make as much distance.
You would have to get a. So you could potentially on an easy result in fall, knock self out. You are out for 12 rounds plus 9 hits. But to do so, you would have to roll negative 201.
Okay.
If you roll more than negative 100, you just make minimal distance.
He's gonna. Okay. He will run as far as yeah. No, he'll give that a go.
Give me a roll,
Yeah.
please.
It will be not fast sprint. It'll just be sprint, which is 3 times.
Cool. I'd make that a routine.
Cool. Thank you. Oh man. 97.
97. Roll again.
44.
Plus 44. Plus his agility.
14.
It's 14. 155. Pete. Nicholas runs 130% of times 3 of his base movement rate. Tell me how far that is, please.
Does he get to fly as well?
180 times 0.3. Oh my goodness. 234.
There you go.
So times 3 is 180. Yep, 234. But that might have a scrambling down maneuver in the middle of it, right?
Yeah. Well, with a really good roll like that, I might give you, unlike previously, I might give you a maneuver partway through because that was a hell of a roll. Whoops. So, Nicholas is there. It was 200 and what, please?
230. Yep.
230. 230 would get you to about there. So
Oh,
actually, you've outdistanced Yotto.
Yep.
So Yotto, you're trotting along at a pretty good pace, at a decent run, and Nicholas just blitzes past you, fucking legging it. I'm out of here! Just absolutely going for broke.
You're not fond of horses.
That little dude zoom past me. I'm tall and bony. Let's carry on.
Moving on is Tanya is next.
She'd like to pick up the pace too.
Give me a roll. What? Either ×4, which is a light, or ×3, which is a routine.
Routine, please.
Give me a roll.
15.
15. What is her base movement rate?
60.
No, sorry. What's her agility?
Moving and armor is
moving and armor,
22.
yep.
22.
22. Thank you. 37. So even with a relatively poor result of 15, it's a routine. So you move 90% of ×3 of your base movement rate. Can you tell me what that is, please?
160.
160.
Sorry to button.
Oh, that was quick.
It was.
Look at you little resident mathematician. Dictionary.
No, I had it ready on my computer, on my calculator.
Oh, okay, excellent.
160.
That's what he said.
What he said. There you go. 160 gets you to here. So Tanya, you're gunning it, and you're there. Reasonably flat terrain. You've gone around the edge. All good. Moving on is Severin.
Yeah, same again.
Same again. So he, roll. He's wearing armor, so a little bit more difficult for him to run fast.
64.
64, a better roll. What's his moving and armor skill, please?
Minus 10. Minus 10.
Cool. So 54, so not awful. 100%. It's a routine. So what is his base move? What ×3? How far does he run?
3, 50. It's 55 times 3. It's 165.
Okay, cool. So Severin, 165, pretty much where Nicholas. No, pretty much there. Bang.
Oh, jump on his back then. Piggyback.
Yeah, piggyback. Boom. Askell has also moved up a little bit further behind because he's not running double, but still not bad. He's there. And leaving your healer, who is a round delayed behind you, running with her long legs, basically saying, "Wait for me!" Back here. That is the end of that round. So you've moved from here. 20 seconds later, you're belting away down this valley. And again, apologies for the cantankerous nature of the map. Your characters obviously aren't floating in the air, they are on the ground. That is the end of that round. The sounds of these horses' hooves are obviously definitely getting closer. They are most definitely coming in your direction, and there's something horrible and big out there, and the horses really, really, really don't like it and are freaking about it. Really panicking. Just pure, unmitigated terror from these poor animals. Clearly, whatever is going on, coming towards you, the horses are not happy about it. It's 20 seconds in. We're going 30 seconds in after we began the game, so we're ending that round. Rolling initiative. We are off. Jada, yet again, speedy Jada is first to act. Jada, you are watching your compatriots basically waving you goodbye and speeding down the valley in front of you. What are you doing?
I'll be having words to them later about this. So, kind of half hoping the horses catch up with me, but also the snow is amazing. She's from the desert. She's just blown away. Like, what is this stuff falling from the sky?
It's probably very true. Does she go out and just stand there trying to catch on her tongue or something? I don't know.
That's why she's going so slow. Yeah, but she decided she'd better hurry up and catch up because the horses don't sound good. So, yeah, I'll go at a run. So that's 130 feet.
Okay,
run?
so double is a run. That's times
Double,
two.
yeah.
Times three is times three of your base movement rate, and that is a routine maneuver. Times four is an easy maneuver. Your call.
Oh, I'll do the times 3, but I'm not doing any math, so.
Cool. Give me a roll.
16.
16.
Yeah, did you want my agility?
Yes, please.
Plus 18.
Plus 18. Yeah, cool. Pretty similar to Tanya. Not a spectacular roll. However, even with that, you run 90. So what is 90% of times 3 of your movement rate, please?
How do you do that?
Well, you times your movement rate and you figure 90% of it.
What's your base movement? Do you want a hand?
Yeah, I'm not good at maths. I haven't done it for years. 65 times.
65 times 3 is 195 times 0.9.
Oh, 93. We're in the wrong place.
One 175.
75.
Okay.
That's cool.
Sorry, Star. I don't mean to jump in on you.
Oh, no, I'm glad. It's hard to do this calculator on the computer.
So, Jada, your long legs are being left behind. You start moving pretty rapidly. You're just catching up to your friends, and then they start moving away from you again. They've definitely got the jump on you. But they're off. Cool. Then, guessing Yotto next. Let's see if I'm right. No, it's Askell next. Askell, you've got to here.
Cool.
You've just
Can't
seen-
see where here is, but
No, you can't.
sounds good.
So you're coming up.
I think I'm almost there with the tech.
Okay, go ahead. So you're coming up to. You can't see on the map, but your companions can. Directly in front of you, there is a drop. It would be, I think, not R. I'm going to say it's 15 foot, pretty much straight down. You could make a lights. No, let me just get this right. You'll need to make some kind of maneuver to get down it. You could climb, but that would take at least 2 rounds to do so. You could try some kind of acrobatics check to get you down. It's not a very high distance. Some kind of leap, or just if you don't have acrobatics, you could try just maneuvering an armor. And I would say that would be a light maneuver to be able to jump down. That'll be an all or nothing to jump down without issue. It's not a very high point. Or you could continue running around, and your compatriots can see this on screen. I'm aware that you can't. And there's less of a drop, and there's more just kind of a steeper bank, and just kind of scramble down that will require an easy maneuver. So your choice of either it'll be I'm going to say, here we go. I'm going to say it's either a medium, no, it's either a light to jump down, or acrobatics down, or whatever you like. It's a light to climb down, but it will take you at least 2 rounds, or it's an easy. Sorry, I'm getting an open mic on someone, so someone can pop yourself on mute. Or it's an easy if you want to scramble down the slope. So your call, Askell, on how you want to get around the obstacle.
I'll just go the easy way. That's
okay.
Easiest.
Okay. It requires you going further on rounds, and it's not the most direct route, but yep. So you won't make as much distance this round, but can you give me a easy roll, please?
Okay, 1 moment. Let's see if I can do this. Off the phone. A 13.
13. What's his moving and armor skill, please?
Is plus 4.
Okay. So there is a chance of you tripping or something happening as you go down this slope. It is an easy maneuver. Can you? But you're moving in haste to try to do it. Can you give me a roll 60 or under, and you're fine.
Okay. 35.
35, cool. So Askell, you take the slightly longer way round. You don't make as much distance, but you do manage to scramble down. So your route you can't see on the screen, but for those that can, Askell comes around here and elects. He takes kind of one look at the immediate straight drop, comes around this rock, and kind of scrambles down. He doesn't make very much distance, but he's now on this valley floor here. Counter right there. And the sound of horses' hooves is definitely getting closer, and the sound of something horrible is as well. The next person to act is Nicholas. So Nicholas, you've sped ahead, you've ignored the cliff, and you're now on the slope that Askell's just scrambled his way down.
Thank you. First thing he'd like to do is take I suppose it's kind of a 10% perception of just checking where everyone is.
Okay.
He'll look back.
Yep. Give me a roll. Unmasked.
Oh man, 96. So roll it.
Yeah, please.
So let's see their souls. 32.
32. 96 plus 32 plus what's his perception?
45.
It's 45. You get a negative 20 because it's a snap perception.
True.
But frankly, with a roll that good, yeah. So Nicholas, you take in a lot more of this terrain. You just happen to get a really good view of it. Others that just happen to see it, well, I guess you get the bonus. But Nicholas, you're aware of some chunks of rock here, a smaller chunk of rock here. This large piece that you were coming up to seems to end in some kind of quite sheer drop. So there's kind of a quite a major drop off here, and there's a shelf up here. It'll be quite a climb to get up to, but you could potentially do it. And you are aware of all of your compatriots around you.
Cool. And clocks that Jada's perhaps a bit behind on the.
Correct.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. He would like to spend the rest of his round doing exactly what Askell has done. So doing the easy to get down this slope.
Yep. I'll give you that at a slight minus because you've just turned your head to have a quick look around.
For sure. Thank you.
I'll give you a negative 10 on that.
Cool.
Negative 20 on that. It's an easy minute.
27.
27. Cool. What's his agility, please?
Plus 14.
You've got an 80% chance of getting down the slope without issue. You're up, please. 80 or under, and you're fine.
Yep, 57.
Cool. Yeah. So there's a clatter of stone, a clatter of rocks. You're not sprinting down the slope, but you're moving reasonably quickly. Like Askell, you don't make very much ground doing it, but you get to about there.
Cool. Thank you.
Next up is Yotto.
I'm wondering, Chris, how hard would it be to get onto this big old rock?
This one here?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like it's much more of a climb than the drop, right? He should be able to jump down the 60 feet.
He would need to backtrack because he's currently. That's Yotto. Whoops. Yeah. That's Yotto there. But he hasn't got far to go. He's got 40 foot, 46 foot. He would that there, however, is quite a climb. It's like
how high is it?
It's 12 foot. If he ran around the edge, he could scramble his way up, perhaps. Around here.
Sorry, around which edge?
Here. So he's here. So Yotto's standing right there where those arrows are. If he came down here, backtracked, came around to the base of the rock, he could scramble his, say that's not steep enough to require him to get a maneuver, and he could scramble his way up here. He wouldn't be moving fast, but he could get up.
And we're about four or five rounds in, aren't we?
You are currently 30 seconds since you left that scrape of the cave.
So yeah, he wants to belt it up to the top of the rock, I think.
Okay. So he backtracks.
Yeah.
Gets to here. Because of the scramble, because of that there, he is decreased in speed, but he gets up to about there. That's right.
Thanks.
Yep. Next, so you've stopped here, you've run back, you've bypassed Severin, Jadar, and Tanya, turn around, and Yotto is now belting his way up this rock. Next is Tanya.
Yep, she's going to continue. She'll take the easy way around.
Okay. Give me a all or nothing easy roll, please, to get down this hill. This slope.
92.
Oh, nice. Plus her moving and armor skill, please.
Yeah. 20.
Plus what, sorry?
22. 22.
Cool, lovely. 110, she's absolutely fine, and she has a little bit of movement afterwards, so as well as moving down, she has a little bit further that she can go. Where else does she want to go?
Well, what can she see down here? Is there anything, a good hiding place that she can see?
I'd give you that 10 as a roll if you want to make a perception roll.
I guess just keep going. I think there's nothing immediate within her eyes, so she's not going to stop and look, so she'll keep going.
Okay.
See what's around the corner.
Yep. We're a bit far. Hey, we've finally found terra firma. There we go. So she gets to about there, and what does she see? Yeah, that.
Is that the main... We're not in a parallel gully, right? There's only one gully?
You did see... That
Oh,
appears...
this one's slightly off, yeah. Okay.
That appears to join the major canyon on the way out.
Yeah, I guess she's just going to have a look round that corner, and then if not, may double back at this point and hide under a crevice or something. But if this... Yeah, I'm interested in what's around that corner by that puddle.
Okay, sure. That's her action right now. That's as far as she's got this round. Next round is Severin.
Oh, yeah. Same again.
Same again. So a routine maneuver to get down. Sorry, easy maneuver to get down.
Although if when he passes Yotto, he will say, "Hide, man, hide."
Okay. Give me a roll.
30.
30.
Yep.
And his
-10.
-10. Cool. Now this is an all or nothing because you're moving down a kind of a semi-scree slope. Could trip.
Yep.
He's got a 60% chance of keeping his feet 60 or under.
2. That should do
2.
it.
He's good. So he assembles here. That is the end of the rounds. Going into round 4. This is round 4. Rolling initiative. And without a doubt, I'll just go back to my sound effects. The sound of horses is increasing. big and nasty is coming, scared horses, etc. You got the drill by now. Rolling initiative. Again, speedy Jadar. She is being left behind by her friends, but she is the fastest of you all. Jadar, you've seen Yotto double back behind you. He scrambles up this, he basically half claws his way up this thing and is now up on this rock to your left. You've seen the majority of your companions scramble down the scree slope down here. Tanya's out in front. What are you doing, please?
Oh, tempting to go up there too, but I'm gonna take the easy route.
Okay, yeah,
Follow
give me a roll, please.
32,
32, plus her agility.
18.
18. Cool. Yep, yeah, I mean, you've got a chance of, slipping or sliding on these three slopes and falling, and maybe that would be bad. But your footing's pretty good. You've got an 80% chance. They don't call me GM chance for nothing. 80% chance of keeping your feet, Jada. Let me roll.
31.
31, you're fine. So, Jada, you head down and you join your companions. Oh, and you're on terra firma as well. Are you? No, you're not. Join your companions here, and they, of course, are faster than you because they're around ahead of you. Next is Askell. Askell, you've come down. You're with the main group here, including Severin and Nicholas. And Jadar has just come up behind you. What are you doing, please?
I would just be milling around with the group and just running in whatever direction they want us to run in.
Okay. Have you now got camera back, by the way?
I'm hotspotting my phone, yes.
Okay.
What we call clunky.
Okay. All right. So following the group, done. Next to act is Nicholas. Nicholas, that's kind of your view. You got a reasonable view of things last time. That's kind of your perspective.
Cool, thank you. He'd like to. He's seeing Tanya out in front, right? Oh, first thing is he'd like to say Jada are a bit behind.
Okay.
So he's just letting everyone know that. Oh, well, she's sort of with us there, but I suppose it's happening simultaneously. So I just he would like to split his action. He'd like to sort of move to the corner where Jada is, where the bottom right. Sorry, no, further out, I think. But no, sorry, further towards the bottom. Yep, that's it. Moving to there, so he wouldn't be seen from anything that's going further up the valley. And then he'd like to hold until. And he will say to Tanya as he gets there, let us know if we should follow you. Basically,
Okay.
His thinking is, yeah, that's what he'd like to do, because he's figuring she's going to go and look. He's seen her continue on, and he doesn't want to run further out into the open until she's, yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So he'd like to reserve the rest of his action based on what she does. If she beckons him, he will run further out. If she comes back, he'll hold there, or yeah.
Okay. So
or move as needed.
That's a distance of 30 foot, so minus 30 foot.
I'll remember that.
Yep, cool.
Anything else? Thank you.
Next is Yotto. So Yotto, you're up here.
Yep. Okay, so what he's going to do, can you pan left, Chris, so I can see the rest of the rock? Keep panning left.
Hang on. Just a second. There you go.
Beautiful. What he wants to do is find a vantage point where he can see who's coming.
Yep.
And essentially what he's going to do is lie down so he can perceive hard. internally cursing. You didn't ask for that seeing eye thing. So he wants to make himself small in the snow, so he's difficult to see, but he wants to be able to watch these people passing. So he wants to be able to get as clear a view of them as possible.
Okay, and he's lying down where he is, yes?
No. He's still standing up at the moment. So what he's going to do is move to a vantage point to witness who's going past.
Okay.
In a way that he can kind of lie down to maximally hide himself. So I find it very difficult to tell from this map where he's going to get the best vantage point and still be protected. I mean, possibly there.
Probably where he is. Yeah.
Yeah. In which case,
unless he wanted to go further up to the top of this rock.
You'll get an equally good vantage point, won't he? And then I guess he can fall over the edge if he needs to.
Yep.
So how far is it to the edge? Can he do that and get down in one movement?
Well, he doesn't know because he hasn't seen the end of the rock. It's quite a drop for the end of the rock. He is where.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So stay where he is and lie down.
Nah, he's going to go to the end of the rock and make himself small.
Okay.
He does kind of know where it is because he will have seen it from the other side of the canyon.
So he's aware that that is a drop, right? That's the height of a character.
It's not going to be more than 50 feet, right?
Yeah. Yep, for sure. That was 15, so I don't know, what is that? That's the height of a character. That's
50 feet?
50 foot? Yeah, I'd say that's 50 foot. Easy. Yep.
Okay. So he's going to go up the top of the rock and make himself small.
Okay, so 90 foot. He is jogging, so he can do that, and gets to here. He's still got a little bit more action because he could actually run further. What does he do with the remainder of his action? He's currently still standing.
Essentially, he'll find himself behind that little outcropping you can see just on while he's on my right.
So
to be able to look down the valley, look across the valley.
So here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Not on top. Beautiful.
Cool.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, so he lies down. He's lying down here.
Correct.
Cool. Done. Excellent. Okay. Very good. Tanya is next.
Right, she's would you give me Tanya eye vision a minute?
Sure.
Tan cam.
Yeah, tan cam. There you go. Tan cam coming down.
Right, so off to the left, then that rock ends, so we're back out in the open. I guess what she wants to do is, you see that little there's a couple of outcrops to my right.
Yep.
She just wants to check those out for places to hide. And yes, she will communicate back. However, she can see, but to her immediate left, there is the sort of outcrop that we could kind of crawl under, right?
Yeah. So she moves a little bit further round, and I'm just gonna get my tam cam down. So how far out does she go? How far down?
I just want to see what's around the corner, really. Yeah, just because conscious there's a where she was standing. Go on.
So there is that.
Ooh, crevice up there. Yeah, that's good.
And then around here, there is under the rock, you can see. Yeah. And then around here, there is another crevice.
Yeah, I think that first one looked quite a good little hidey place.
Okay.
So she will wave to them. She doesn't want to shout because she doesn't want to be heard.
Yep.
But she will gesticulate towards that crevice.
Okay.
She will climb up.
Okay. Cool. It's a easy scramble up, and she gets partway up. Nicholas, how far up does she go?
Well, she'll go up to the top if she can. I mean, if she can have a little peek out at the top and look back over the valley, amazing. But yeah, she'll go up.
Probably. She can't quite this round, and
okay,
she would get to there. Nicholas, you were next to act, and you were waiting on Tanya's movement. You've moved 30. How far can you move it around?
If he's doing his running, 120.
Okay, I think
So
that should be.
90.
Yeah, I think that should be ample. Yep, easy.
Awesome. Thank you. Brilliant.
And round any particular position that you're going for there?
Tucked in as much as he can, perhaps at the bottom of this. Yeah, just tucked in at the bottom. He doesn't need to do much climbing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Severin, you're next. You've seen your 2 companions go around the rock.
Follow, please.
Cool.
Top speed for as fast as you can.
Cool.
Me. Yes. As fast as I was going around there, and then he'll start to crawl up there too.
Cool. Done. Jadar is next. Oddly enough, you must have rolled really bad this round, Jadar. Hello, Jadar.
Yep, I'll be following them.
Cool. And then finally Askell. I'm assuming join the rest of the party, but you tell me otherwise, please.
Yep. Keep following the rest of the party.
Cool.
Alright.
Very good. It is slightly cramped. All right, cool. That is the end of round 4. And without a doubt, the sounds of hooves, shouting, etc. And you can now hear the sounds of, for the first time, the sounds of yelling voices, humans, certainly sentient beings. First time you've heard it. We're into this round. We're rolling initiative. And we are off. Nicholas, so you've come in here. Where in particular, and again, bearing in mind we are dealing with counters that aren't sitting straight, and we're also dealing with a slope that goes up. Where is he planning to position himself, please?
Could you zoom in, please? Just so I can... Oh, does that? Yeah. So, see how it sort of just goes... Yeah. Just where it's turned that corner. So I can see a dark grey rock sort of in the middle. A bit up there. Yeah, no, but down between those 2 arrows. Yeah. He doesn't want to get in anyone's way. As long as it's wide enough for someone to go behind him, he would be sort of there.
Cool. Great.
Yep.
Askell, same question for you. Do you now have a camera, by the way?
Camera? As in...
can you
I see what you're going with?
Yes, can you see the screen?
Yeah. It's just, and out. As in real...
Okay, cool. Where does your character go, please? Hello?
As far as I can see, he will just follow him behind the group.
Okay, cool. Jada.
Can you zoom out a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we can't really go any further, can we? I'll
Yep.
just try and get away from the edge. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Up a bit. Yeah.
Alrighty. Next is Yotto. Yotto, so can I ask, please, it's probably easiest, if everybody, I'm sorry, bar Yotto, jumps out of the game, and I am going to describe some stuff to Yotto. So can everybody, exit into chat room 1. Yotto, I'll explain what you see. Thank you. It's Askell. Hello, Askell. Askell. No. It's not going. He's having issues. Okay. We're gonna go anyway.
I can hear you, Chris, but I don't know if you can hear me. But
Yep. Can you jump into chat room 1? Is that possible to do?
oh yeah, it's sorry. It was real broken up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go. So you're up here. You're lying down, and you are gazing with absolute fixed view on what is happening down here. And this is what you see. Coming around the corner at pace are a number of horsemen. They look like this, and I'll put the counters on the screen in a second. But this is what they look like. So you see men that look like that, and like that. Someone that looks like that. And their horses are absolutely panicked. They're screaming, and they're clearly absolutely frantic. And you then see the reason why, and I'll come to the reason why in a second. The number, by the way, of horsemen is, you just simply don't have time to register exactly, but it's certainly more than 5. It's probably less than 30, but it's a good number of men. And as I say, you're a mixture of kind of that, etc. Sprinting along just feet behind these horses' hooves are huge. You see 2 of them, massive creatures. They would stand probably a good 5 to 6 foot at the shoulder. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 5 foot at the shoulder. They're big. They look like this. It's 1. And that's 2. And they're fast. And they are clearly absolutely terrifying both the horses and the riders. And the riders want none of this. None at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just swap. Actually, I'll give you an image to look at. I'm going to put an image into your chat for you to kind of mull over. A few images into your chat for you to mull over while I do some counters on the screen and then come back to you. Just take a second or so. So some of these people on horseback. And 1, 2. These critters. Coming into your channel. So I'll give you those to mull over just for a second or so, and then I'll show you where on the board they are. I'm just going to change the view. Try to be as fast as I can.
Hi, Chris. Can I ask you one question while you're doing that?
I'm a typical male and typically can't concentrate on more than one thing at once, but you can try.
Happy to wait. Happy to wait.
No, give me a question. See if I can answer.
So he knows Tikos and UPP. Does the dude in black look like one of those? Does he recognize this?
Never seen it before.
Thank you.
And panic is a really, really good word, Yoto. These riders are absolutely thrashing their horses, just completely belting them and beating them, and they are coming on at pace. You can see even at this distance that the horses are flecked with foam and clearly just utterly terrified with what's coming up behind them. And these two creatures that you can see are closing fast, really fast.
How far away are they, Chris?
Behind them, a matter of 10 to 20 foot, perhaps. They are close.
How long until these riders are on top of us?
Hang on, I'll show you.
Thanks. So the question I'm wondering is, do I have long enough to prep for one round, or will I need to act?
Sure. I will show you. And, you know, typically in this game, I ask for a perception roll. Not in this case. Large things to see, and yeah, not hard for you to see. So, excellent. That seems the technology seems to like me on this occasion. So, Yoto, coming back to this view, I'll go with the wide view. So you're lying down here. The distance between the first person on horseback and you is something like 240 feet, and you can see these two massive critters. Actually, that one there is a little bit closer up. Is it going to light me? No, it's not. Damn it. Both of them are about there. That one there is just being temperamental. The horses would move at a normal pace of about 100 foot walking and around. They are riding, so they are doing at least 200 foot and around, and they're 240 foot away.
Cool. Okay. How do you want to play this, Chris? In rounds? Do you want me to tell you what I'm going to do? Do you want to bob between me and you?
Yeah, it's your round, so you tell me what you do.
Okay.
So this is a freebie in terms of what you see.
So he's going to prep for 90% of his round.
Yes.
And actually what he wants to do is spend the other 10% of his round. So what he's going to do is cast Bleep. He's going to aim for the guy in black.
Okay.
And the only reason I'll just talk this through. The only reason he won't do that is if they see him and everyone starts charging up the hill. Of course, he's lying down and making himself small. So he feels reasonably safe. What the reason for the 10% is he wants to essentially make sure he can zap this dude with sleep. So is there somewhere where the horse is likely to slow down, somewhere where it's going to be an easy shot? It looks like he can hit a moving target as easily as a non-moving target, but that's what he wants to spend his 10% quick glance for the rest of his round doing. So it's not looking at the party, it's looking at where it might be the easiest place to take a shot.
So I'd give you this round to prep, and I'd give you. This is where they've come into view this round. So they've moved down here. So they came around the corner and they've finished here. You'll have this round to prep, and then you'll have one shot at something here as they bypass you.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Now you're moving. Yep. Okay. If you want to do that, you can. Done.
That's what I want to do.
Cool. Would you mind, please, going and getting the others?
Do you want me to stay and chat with your mum or come back?
No, come back. No, kind of dull if you're just sitting there by yourself. No, come back, but obviously you can't act on.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm.
Yep. All right. So, party's back. You are definitely hearing the thunder of hooves, and it is now. It's distant before, but my goodness, it's loud. It is the thunder of hooves, like drowning out the GM's voice, and these absolutely terrified horses. Are close. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people on horses, and they're screaming and shouting, and then intermingled with all of this is this terrible sound. Not once, but then slightly in a different place, another one. Whatever's going on is pretty chaotic, pretty hectic, pretty grim out there. The GM, for sanity's sake, is going to take the galloping horses down a little bit, but that is the kind of the intensity that you are hearing. We've gone through Yotto's action. I know what Yotto is doing. Thank you, Yotto. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Next to act is Tanya.
Yeah, so I guess Tanya's keen to move up, so she can have a peek around the corner and try and get a view on what's going on, so she can relay that to the others.
Okay.
Without being seen. So she only wants to get up and have so she can stick her head round, and keep still.
Okay.
And hide as best she can.
Okay, sure. Can she do? Let's just have a look. Just want to see what she can see. Hang on, GM's just going to do this for a second. Just dunk. I just don't know if she can actually see what she can see from her vantage point.
I guess she is. She's interested to know if everyone climbed up, would that make them more unseen?
Yeah, got it. Just a second. So here she's there. Oops. Oh, there we go. That's good. Now, are you going to play ball? You are. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Glancing round Tanya, can you give me a perception roll, please? And this is an unmasked perception roll. So you either make a sorry?
76 plus 85.
26 plus 85. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna say how to do this. Others, please, apart from Tanya, avert your eyes from the screen for 1 second. Tanya, this is what you see here. Horsemen here, several, riding at pace, and specifically what they look like. You roll well, so I will provide you, and you just catch a glimpse of something big and horrible. And this is what you see. And I love the Monty Python. Thank you, Tanya. So some of the horsemen that you see, you don't see all of them, of course. But you see a bit of that, bit of that, bit of that, and then the one critter that you see, and it's big, stands about 5 foot, is that.
Sorry.
Coming into Tanya's channel. Yeah, just takes a second.
Oh, Tanya's channel. Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, bloody hell. And how big was that last one?
Big, 5 foot at the shoulder, at least.
And do I'm just so I have a sense of where I am.
Go here. You're there.
Sorry.
Oh, you can't see. You're here. So your head is peering. You see where the cursor is? Your head is literally.
Yep.
That's the. Can we see your characters? You can see your characters there, behind that chunk of rock. She is peering out. Her head is just there.
So were she to move up on the ledge, she would be seen essentially.
There's a chance she could be seen. I mean, these riders are moving very fast. Like she just caught a glimpse of them.
No. That's right. No, I just wanted to be clear that was that was the edge of my cover.
Yes.
So she will relay back to the party.
Yep.
That she has seen a large amount of horsemen, some with pikes, some with bows, galloping fiercely, being pursued by what looks to be some horrific polar bear-like creature. That's very big.
Anything else that she does this round?
She will hide.
Hide? Do you want to
hide in the shadows, but continue to look.
Give me a hiding roll, please. There is such a thing as a hiding roll. You can stalk and you can hide.
Yeah, 66.
Sorry, 56?
66.
Plus.
Well, that's quite a lot. Sorry. 159.
Cool. Okay. Very good. Thank you. But she's at the top, so she's about here. Her head's peeking. Was just peeking around. Next is Severin. Severin's just heard this from Tanya. What does he do?
Well, he's going to rely on Tanya's eyes. I guess he's going to look back, out the way and get ready himself for action if necessary. He's going to listen to Tanya, but looking out down the crack so he can see anything that happens that way.
So, looking out kind of that way.
Yeah, keeping low, keeping crouched to the ground.
Cool.
Doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah, got it. So he's hiding as well?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, give me a roll. Actually, this would be... Stalking's not masked, hiding would be masked, because you actually don't know if you hide well. Or not.
41.
41, cool. And his bonus?
It's not amazing. It's 28.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you. And moving on down the team. I think that was it. Yep, that was it. That is the end of that round. Next round. Rolling initiative. Alright, let's see how we go. Oh, okay. Now, how to do this? How to do this without...
Chris, I think we can stay together. You know exactly what I want to do. So
Giles, hang on. Thanks for your suggestion. Let me just think it through. I just want to think it through. Because I know other stuff. Yep. Take your suggestion and thought some other things through. We will go in together. So Giles, you see Yotto. You see the following. one of these horrible things comes up to the last horseman, and with an absolutely sickening swipe, takes out the horse's legs. The horse screams, the rider shrieks, and there's a horrible, sickening, crunching noise as both horse and rider just absolutely crumple to the ground. The beast continues running. It doesn't actually seem that interested in what it's just done. Like, it's swiped, but it's keeping going. These things are fast. They are faster than the horses. This one, however, comes up to the horse and rider that's just been felled, and it does stop. And the poor man, you see him, Giles, he is utterly terrified. Utterly paralyzed. He's extremely badly injured. He has come off his horse. He's kind of shaking. He's trying to get out a sword out of his scabbard. And this beast, this horrible beast, just comes up, grabs him by the scruff of his neck, shakes him, and the man's head just completely disintegrates in its jaws. Gone. The horse is on the ground, absolutely having conniptions. It's clearly broken legs, and it's just awful to witness. Then, just to keep things spicy, you'd missed it with your first glance, Giles. Yotto. You now see there's actually a third of these terrible things. You don't know where it's come from. It just seems to have appeared. Don't know if you missed it before, but it's come out from the side. And again, it swipes. And definitely hits one of these horses. Horseman and horse go flying, and the horseman doesn't move. He just hits the ground, and that's it. Creature basically ignores it and keeps chasing after more prey. There are now 3 of these things out there. Haskell, you've just been given a boon by the GM. You've been given a lot more information than obviously what your character knows. You have heard from Tanya that there's something horrible going on. What are you doing, if anything, please?
He is obviously huddled in with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
How tightly are we huddled?
Pretty tight. I mean, you're in this little crevice. Is a good word. It's quite steep, rocky. You don't need to climb it, but it's on quite an incline. There's enough room for you each to stand there, but you're close to each other. You're within a foot of each other, a couple of feet of each other.
Okay, yeah, no, I was wondering, are we like squished right up beside each other, so no sort of movement of arms or anything like that?
No, you can move.
Okay, yeah, so Haskell would, noting there's something going on, he would like to draw his cutlass.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
In anticipation of potentially having to use it.
Okay, cool. Jada.
I just might get my bell of stunning chimes out.
Done.
Good.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. This one has failed a rider this way. The emergence of wherever that one came from has literally spooked the horses, and this rider, probably less of the rider actually, Giles, and more the horse, is belting off fast, really fast in this direction, riding around here. 3 of these. And they get up to about here. This one, oops. Oh, I'm just really annoyed with this map. I put a lot of time and energy into this, and I just like it to work. There we go. No, come on, please play nice. Please play nice. There we go. That rider continues on in this direction. Come on, please. There we go. So does that one. And that one. And that one. This one here manages to stuzz it. Swerve. Goes there. This one also angles down here. Giles, you just get a chance. That was your target. If you wanted to have a go at it, you can. It is now your turn.
I'm busy talking to myself. Is he more than 100 feet away?
Yep.
I can't reach him then. And he's the only one rider in black?
I mean, it's happening all too fast. You saw one for sure, but you don't know for sure.
Fine, he's my target. I'm going to spend 10% doing a quick glance to the people on the right, and I'm looking for another target in, black fancy clothes.
Okay. From there, you can't see anybody else.
Okay, and he's going to prep for another round then.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Nicholas is next. So Nicholas, you've been given this information by Tanya. The sound of horses' hooves is definitely getting closer, for sure. Now you have more information than your character does on this map. You can see stuff obviously that your character can't, but without a doubt, there are horses. Almost on top of you. What are you doing?
Yikes. He is going to prepare.
Okay. Tanya, your action.
So Tanya will continue to relay what's going on in a voice that the party can hear, but no louder. and she will warn them that there are three riders galloping by, and for everyone to keep as low as possible and out of sight as best they can.
Okay. Anything else?
She'll just continue to watch.
Okay. Cool. Severin.
He will continue to crouch low, and he was pressed into a shadow, I think, or what he thought was a shadow. So he'll remain perfectly still and as low to the ground as possible, hoping to blend in.
Excellent. That is the end of this round. We're going into the next round. Rolling initiative. Okay. Go. This one here. Yeah. Slowed a little bit from taking down the one before, but is making up time coming in this direction. This one here. Swipes but misses. This one and slows a little bit, does make more ground, but swipes and misses at that rider. He was lucky. Rolled a 20. And then this critter here moves up. Now, go. Yeah. Goes this way as well. Two. Jada, any other actions? You've readied your belt previously. Anything else?
I'll just prepare.
Cool.
Thanks.
Okay. This person here sees the gap, tries to see if their horse can make the jump. It's a 15-foot jump. They're panicked. I'm going to say it's going to be a hard maneuver. No, a very hard maneuver going the pace they're at. 56 plus... you're under. No. None of you... Yeah, there's a horrible, sickening crunching noise. And another horse screams, and a rider cries out. Same. For those looking at the mouth of the gap that you're at, you see a rider, horse flecked with foam, looks like that, a spearman, thrashing his horse for all he's worth, coming around the edge of the rock. Anybody that's acted before this round, any actions that anybody does. So, actually, no one said this. Sorry, I haven't had an opportunity action, so I won't do that. And then, and there's another sickening, horrible crunching noise, and another horse screams. Haskell, you've just seen a rider have you just... Yeah, it would have come around a little bit further. So you've whoops, you've just made out that rider come around the edge. Any actions from you?
Eskel would just nudge anyone who's close to him to just nod, well, direct with his head and go, look, there's a rider.
Okay.
Stay hidden.
Cool. Yotto.
Keep doing this. The rider I'm interested in is still as far away as he was, isn't he? He hasn't had his action yet, has he?
Correct.
So opportunity action cast should he come within 100 feet.
Okay. So you,
And if he does not, I'll threaten for a third round.
So Yotto, your view is as follows. That's what you can see.
Sure.
So you've got you will lose view of him here in about a few seconds, and he will be out of sight for you, just so you know.
Sure, that's okay.
Okay.
Well, he's
Cool.
going to appear around the other side, isn't he, at some point?
Okay. Cool. So opportunity action to cast if he comes within 100 foot.
Well, and obviously he needs to see into his target.
Okay. Nicholas, any actions from you? You've seen a rider come around the corner so far. It's probably your one action.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Nicholas would because he was round the corner, but whatever. He's preparing, please.
Cool. Done. Severin, you've been at least alerted that a rider's come around the corner. Whether you'd see it or not, I'll leave up to you, really.
Well, he's staring out, so I would say so. If it's within view, I mean he's staying absolutely still.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah.
Technically, there's the crevice, so I was probably a little bit generous saying that you could see him. People at the edge of the crevice could have, but he's staying still.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Great.
he's just staying where he is and urging everyone just to stay still and hidden.
Great. Any further actions from Tanya? She's seen 4 riders go over the edge so far, and 2 of these horrible things are in fast pursuit.
Yeah, she's just whispering to people, stay absolutely still.
Cool. That is the end of the round.
So Chris, can I check? I presume he did not see this rider within 100 feet to cast, in which case he will have prepped for the third round.
Cool, done. End of the rounds. Rolling initiative. Rolling initiative. Okay. Can I please get a perception roll from everybody? I'm just going to make it unmasked. Add on your perception and tell me, please, if anybody unmasked gets a roll of 101 or better. Everybody.
No.
Okay.
Yes and yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
What was the number again, Chris?
101.
Yes, Eskel.
Great. Okay. So, information coming into those 3 characters' channels in a second. There's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of stuff going on, so yeah, hard to judge necessarily where movement's happening, where sounds are happening, etc. Just coming. Just coming. Okay, just coming for Severin, Tanya, and Askell. That's Tanya, that's Askell. So you've picked this up at the beginning of your rounds. You're able to act or do whatever, of course, on your round. So for next person. Whoops. Okay. Three. Are you going to play nice? Are you going to play nice? That's nice. That's great. So Yotto, you are aware, you see some of these riders going, whoops, around. That direction. And hot pursuits. Misses. Next. Jada, any action for you? You're preparing last round.
Preparing again.
Cool. Yotto.
Opportunity action is going to be to cast or prep.
Cool. So he is lying down, and his field of vision is, just so you know, is whoops.
Okay, well, so much for finding a good vantage point for looking out from. It's which was the very purpose of the
I'm sorry.
look, he will move to see. I mean, he's going to save enough action to cast. What's that? 75%.
Yes.
So he'll spend the other 25% getting as close to the edge as he can, so we can actually see.
Okay. Which edge?
Yeah, that's what the one that's closest.
Sorry.
Move your handy arrow thing, and I'll show you. Yeah, that's not an edge. The edge, the falling over the cliff edge. Yeah, along a bit further, so it's this one. Other way, other way, other way, other way. Yep, a little bit further. Yep, in there if you can. Give him a much broader view.
17 foot. Yeah, it's nothing. So he
So
gets
lying down, and you know, if he can, he'll wants to cast as an opportunity action. And if how much of his action has he used?
crawling. What's so what is half of his base movement rate? Sorry?
37.5.
Okay, cool. So he can get to, if he wants to be able to cast this round, he can get to about there. He can't get all the way to the edge.
Alright, can you show me his view from there?
Yeah. he was
You can see absolutely.
if he was standing, he'd be fine, but he's lying
So you
down.
can see nothing. He'll just crawl to the edge so you can see, Chris.
Okay, cool. Right. So he crawls up to the edge to be able to see. That will break his preparation, however.
He will do it at 10% speed, so to maintain his concentration and his preparation.
Okay, cool. So he moves a bit there. Done.
Waste of time.
So... Askell, any move from you?
Yes, Askell will just say to the rest of the group around him, said, I think I hear more of the horrid beasts. And he would want to just say, everyone be quiet, and like to retreat back. Like, can we sort of pull in tighter in our little huddle?
Pretty much as close as you can be.
Okay. But yeah, just trying not to be poking out.
Yep.
Right.
Another rider comes around the corner. Can I get a... On the edge, I'd say that is Askell and Severin are probably the last two. Can I get a unmasked perception roll from you both, please?
Askell got a 56 plus 37.
Okay, and Severin?
33 plus 80.
80... Oh, 130. You see... So, Severin, you see this as a rider. So you managed to just catch a... You're closest to the edge, and you see that this rider looks like this. If that makes any... Anyway, yep. Severin, your action, please.
He's just gonna keep absolutely rigidly still, not say a thing.
Okay. Okay. Nicholas.
Can I check? What's the size of this crevice that we're in, please?
Oh. Yep. Yep. Good question. I'm not sure if this... I mean, it's very narrow. It's only about 2 foot wide. It's kind of that wide at the bottom. It's kind of a V-shaped, so about 2 foot wide at the bottom, and it stretches up to about maybe 10 foot at the top. Its distance is... hang on. I'll just... its distance is approximately... it's reasonably long. 26 or so foot. Is that right? Hang on, let me just check. Yeah, not bad.
I'll tell you what he's thinking of doing, and you can tell me if it will work, I guess is the easiest way of doing it, perhaps. So he's got an illusion spell, which can create any simple immobile image or scene in an area of up to 10 foot radius. So that's the limiting thing. Would he be able to cast an illusion over the group of a rock that we would be obscured from outside behind? 10 foot radius. 20 foot wide. Yeah, that's quite big.
20 foot wide. 10 foot radius, you'd have to really get close to your companions. I'm just going to switch my galloping and my whinnying down a smidge. Yeah, you could do it. I would say you could do it. You could try.
20 foot tall, 20 foot wide.
Yeah, 20 foot, definitely. 20 foot tall and 20 foot wide, yes. Yes.
So we wouldn't have to move too much to be covered by that?
Tanya would have to move down, so she would be... and the others would have to move up, so that they would lose their field of vision kind of peeking around... Where's Nicholas? Oh, maybe not. Hang on, let me have a look. So assuming Nicholas is here, for argument's sake, I wonder if I can actually move the counters a little bit more accurately. No. Yeah, exactly. No. Oh. No. Okay. So Tanya's there. Jayla's in the center. From a top-down view, hang on. That is top-down. That is 20 foot.
Oh, okay. That's so. We'll certainly go across the mouth of it.
Yep.
And
Yes.
then-
Yes. Yep.
So he would like to do that. He's not actually too concerned about Tanya, if he can sort of look up and see she's up there, because she's hidden.
Yeah, she's here. Yeah. Well, she's.
Yeah, but she's. Yeah. So if he can cast that across as far, across the mouth, as far from us as possible, sort of thing. So if something comes in there, it's not right on us.
Okay.
Yep. And wanting it to blend with the rocks and be as tall as it needs to be, but perhaps, in his judgment, not so tall that Tanya can't see over it.
Okay. Give me a roll. Actually, just before you give me a roll.
Yeah.
Let me just. Excellent. Yep. Give me a roll when you are ready, please.
2 rounds prep, so plus 2 plus 0.
Mm-hmm.
62.
62. The spell goes off.
Okay.
So, there is a rock wall here. Switch those horses down to smidges again. You think it covers you certainly at the mouth of the cave. It pretty much is described.
So Tanya can still see over the top of it, but sort of because she's the hidden one. But the rest of us are concealed-ish. Well, behind the solution.
You think so?
Okay, cool.
Right.
If he's got 25%, he will send the whisper up that at any point people should say for him to drop it if needed.
Okay, done.
Yep, he can cancel it. Thank you.
Tanya.
So is she aware that she got the whisper?
She got the whisper, yep.
And I think she would slowly move down under the illusion.
Okay.
To the point where she is just peeking her head over the top of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she really can't see anything at that stage. She moves down.
Oh, I'm more thinking about looking outwards.
Oh, this direction. This direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So she's at the very top, and she's looking over the top of it in this direction.
Yeah, just keeping absolutely still and just peeking over the top.
Cool, done. Okay. And that is the end of the round. Okay. Yotto.
How much of his action will it take to crawl to the edge of the...
Hang on a sec. I know. It's not his turn. I'm just wanting to have a check. Yep, cool. Yotto, can you... No, not yet, actually. Hold fire on that. Hold fire on that. Rolling initiative. We're off. Nearly off. And okay. Yotto, can you now please give me an unasked for situation awareness roll? Let's call it that. Just using a perception. Unmasked.
Mm, 53, Chris.
53 plus what's his bonus?
I think it's 53, which is that's 54.
There you go. Okay, cool. All right. GM is just going to alter the map a smidge. 1 second, folks. That's what I didn't do. Here we go. Right. Actually work. Cool. So that is number 2. Right. Thank you for your patience, folks. Actually, keeping the camera off for a little bit because actually you guys can't see a lot. That's probably not a bad idea. So, you are all aware of that noise, and then a scream. A pitiful, horrible human scream of utter terror that is cut short. And the scream, and it is close by. Yotto, it is to your right, so it's down to your right where the horseman had to jump over the lip, and for the others, hiding in the crevice, it's some 60 or so, 70 foot away from where you are. Sounds like somebody has just died horribly. Doesn't sound good at all. This critter. Oh. Further out with the one that further in the direction leading back out to the main canyon, there is another scream of a horse, and it sounds like another rider has probably gone down. And again, the terrified shrieking of the horses. And then, sickeningly, for those of you in the crevice, and for Yotto, you just hear a sound. There's no sound of horses around you, but you just hear the footfalls of a large beast, and then there's a pause. And there is sniffing. Something big, something horrible is down off the rocks underneath you, Yotto. And for those around the crevice, something sniffing. 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 Jada, you're next to act.
I think I'm just going to keep very still.
right. You all of a sudden you hear a man's voice screaming in Thrabronic really close to you. Screaming. Who doesn't speak Thrabronic here?
I only
Seven
speak it to
speaks.
2.
Yeah, I'm a 2.
Severin's 8.
Okay. Basically, come on, you bastard! Come and get it! And the human voice is very, very, very close to you. Yotto, you've crawled to the edge. Hang on, I'll show you what you can see in a second. No, there you go. No, not that. What can you see? Yes, the following, Yotto. Hang on. Okay, coming onto your camera and aware that obviously I'm sharing information that others can also see. The target that you're after is right there. You can see him. And he's riding fast in this direction. Looking this way, Yotto, you can see one horseman down, another 1, 2, 3, 4 horsemen riding this direction. But also 2 more of these horrible things coming down the canyon in this direction. What do you do?
I know where my buddies are. I don't think I see them until they cast the illusion spell, right?
No, you don't know where your buddies are. You are alone.
He's going to cast sleep on lone horse rider in there.
Okay. So the distance there is...
Right at the edge is going to be.
Yep, no, you've got a shot. It's 66 foot. This is without prep. Give me a roll, please.
Well, no, he's had 3 rounds of prep, Chris.
No, not if he wanted to move. Not if he wanted to move the edge. He didn't have the movement to do so. He had to break his prep.
I said to you I wanted to maintain the prep to move a concentration at only 10% of normal. That's what I definitely said to you, Chris.
You can.
No way I was gonna break it.
Yeah, you can. But
if I'm not there, I'll just keep creeping to the edge. He's not going to break 3 rounds of prep. That's madness.
okay, cool. Then in that case, he's not at the edge, and he doesn't see that.
Fine, you'll just keep on creeping away.
Okay, cool. Cool. Next. Nicholas.
He's going to hold absolute still, of course, and he's just going to prep.
Okay. Aspen.
Yeah, same. He will probably press himself up against the wall as much as he can, and just sort of try and get the breathing down nice and slow.
Okay. Because that's easy to do now. 7.
Keeping absolutely still and silent. That's it.
Cool. Next. This man appears in view. He has... I'll show you a picture of him in a second. I'd love it if you could stay flat, please. That would just make my night. There we go, look at that. So he probably moves a little bit further away than he technically should. His arm is... So he looks like that. Except his left arm is hanging limply at his side. Like it's clearly not in good shape. You can see even at this range, and all of you up the crevice can see this. His arm's hanging limply at his side. He's bleeding from a recent head wound. And plodding towards him, doesn't appear to be particularly hurried, is this thing. It looks like this. Yeah, close enough. That one there. I think. And moving towards him. Unhurried, unfazed, just taking its time. And it's sniffing, turning its head this way and that. It's focused at this stage 100% on this person, this man, and it's moving absolutely into your line of view. That's a pretty good representation of where we're at. In terms of distance from you, you might want to know or not. So from Askell, really struggling, I'm sorry tonight, folks, with this map a little bit. So from the collection of you guys, they're 68 foot to the critter, a little bit further, 90 or so, 93 foot or so from the man. And that is the end of the round. Think, has anybody not acted this round, or given the option to act this round?
Yeah, I'm just Tanya will just keep observing, but keeping still.
Okay. Okay. That's the end of the round. Rolling initiative. Okay. Three. Right. So this creature comes up and takes a shot at this guy. Kind of almost a bit of a lazy swat at him. Doesn't appear to be too hurried, too bothered. And it just attempts 2 claws. It kind of rears partially up, 1 claw and then the second, and tries to eviscerate this man in front of him. Oof. Trying to parry feebly. No, slight hit. Smashes into his wrist, and the soldier staggers back with the first shot, and then the second. Strikes to his side. There's a gout of blood, and the soldier is not looking in good shape. Next. Okay, GM's going to take off the map a smidge. Okay. Coming on to Jada, your action onto the map. This is, oops, what you can perhaps see. It's pretty much exactly what you can see with this critter swiping at this man in front of him. Any actions from you, Jada?
I'm going to prepare again.
Okay. Nicholas.
Yep. Preparing. Sorry, prepare again, please.
Sure. No, you cast last round, correct? Yes. Okay. Askell.
I thought he prepared last round.
He did? Okay, he's cast 2 rounds ago. Okay. Askell.
Yes.
Esker will start preparing.
Okay. The guy with the spear shouts again. Come on, you fucker, come on! Is that all you've got? And it's clearly not in good shape. Severin.
He will prepare.
Cool. Yotto, you have made it to the edge. You have fully prepared. You are now crawling down, and you can see the following. There are this number of horses that have turned back. 5 horsemen are now galloping, riding hard. They've turned their horses back hard, and they're coming back into this area here. So they were going in this direction, and then they have seen a threat down here, and they're riding their horses back in this direction. What do you do, please? Hello, Yotto. Hello, Giles. Hello. Is Giles around?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll be right back. I'll spend 30 power prep and 10% shuffling to the edge of the cliff, holding concentration. I think that was from last time, so I think he's ready to cast, but I think he's had to duck away.
Okay. Okay, we will come back to him. We will come back to him. Tanya, any further actions from yourself?
Just watching.
Okay. So from your crevice here, you see these horses. One actually hangs back a bit. Come into view. And the riders wheel. Actually, none of you can see this apart from Tanya, correct?
I assume illusions are two-way rather than one-way. I don't know.
That's a great question.
Doesn't say in the spell. I was assuming it was two-way. Although we sort of are on the inside.
No, I'm going to say it's two-way. So Tanya, only you are aware of this. Actually, none of you could see this guy being menaced before. Tanya, you are aware of these horsemen riding in here. And that is it. Yotto, you did see horsemen riding past you here. You went around when it was your turn, but I'll still give you the opportunity to have potentially acted if you wanted to. You're on the edge, you're fully prepped, you're ready to go.
Can I see my black dude?
Yep, he was there, and he was within range.
And everybody else who's been attacked has been mauled, haven't they?
I'm sorry?
Essentially, by the sound of thing, everyone who's been attacked has been mauled, haven't they? Yeah, that's fine. He's gonna prep for a 4th round, Chris.
Okay, he's not going to cast. Okay. So the target, he sees his target, one of these 4 horsemen, right over here. Next, that is the end of the round. GM's just going to go on the drink. Back in a sec, guys.
Yeah, it's probably not worth getting involved at the moment, is it? Really?
No.
Until, I mean, what we don't want to, obviously, the creatures we can't, we don't want to fight 3 of them. We might be able to fight one of them, but we don't want to.
It's not just 3. It's now 6.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if the men all die, I'm going to suggest we evacuate. If we're going to be sniffed out, if the creatures all die or bugger off, we could come out. But so long as there's no men on horses, because if one horseman gets away and betrays, we lose. We lose any surprise we have going towards their camp, right?
Yeah.
Great.
So, but where do we escape to? Where do we bail to?
The air.
Well, what I mean is, if the men, if the beasts win, we can all fly and float out of here, right?
To where?
Up.
Down the valley?
Up.
Yeah.
No, up onto the ridge, right? So we're assuming they can't climb. Maybe they can.
They
Yeah.
can.
All right. Well, not if we go up high enough. Surely not. They're not going to go up a sheer cliff, are they?
We've got 700 feet of movement. In fact, Askel's only got 350 meters.
Well, we'll see how big the ridges are. I think it's quite a steep canyon, so I'll be surprised if they can just scupper up the side of it. And then
Hover in the middle and they can't get you.
Until the float begins to...
Don't forget we've got our magic's not reliable.
Ah, true.
Remember, it's got a higher chance of failing.
That's true. That'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it?
It'd be. I would recommend that if we're doing multiple casts of a fly spell, you recast the spell before you need it.
Yes.
Well, we could do things like try. No.
But I think, or if not, we go up on that ledge. But I mean, it's not great. Great protection, is it?
Okay,
Yikes.
initiative. Rolling initiative. You guys are getting way too much more information than you should be, because of course you can still see the screen. Jada, so you are crouching behind. You actually suddenly realizing that you can't see through this illusion. You are only going on whatever whispers, assuming Tanya is whispering, or maybe Tanya's too scared to whisper. I'm not sure.
Well, Tanya won't whisper anything if she thinks she can be heard.
Okay.
If she thinks she can whisper to the person next to her, she'll whisper.
Okay. I mean, there's quite a lot of noise out there. You can take the risk if you like.
I don't see as much to be gained. I mean, there's nothing to be done at the moment. Just keep the birds.
Okay. So Jada, any action for you at the moment?
No, quiet as a mouse, keeping still.
Okay. Okay. Oh god, there's the 97. It's a 56. Yeah. Tanya, you're the only one that sees it. But with one swipe, this thing takes off this guy's lower leg, and then the next one just basically, essentially decapitates him, and its mane collapses in a bloodied heap on the ground. And you all now hear more sniffing around you, to your left, all of you. Large feet padding, and the sound of a nostril being worked in overtime. Every now and then there's kind of a pause and a lapping of a substance. Something is being licked up off the ground. Askell, other than keeping quiet, are you doing anything? I think you might have said you're preparing.
Yep, prepare for another round.
Yotto, you are up here. You've just seen. It's absolutely transfixed you in horror. This creature. To be fair, by the way, this one here does have a spear or something sticking out of it, and a couple of arrows in it. Someone's had a go at it for sure. These men here are frantically getting off their horses, dismounting. So there are 4 men, and they are rapidly getting off their horses. You can kind of see why, Yotto. Their horses are absolutely exhausted. Like a couple of them are basically stumbling. They can barely run anymore. So all 4 of these men are getting off their horses. It's kind of some free information for you. What do you do?
I think opportunity action cast.
Okay. Okay.
In the trigger for casting will be threat.
Will be what, sorry?
Being threatened.
Being threatened. Okay, cool. Nicholas.
Nicholas would like to cast Fly on himself, please.
Yeah, sure thing.
2 rounds prep.
prep. Meryl.
Oh. Uh-oh. 29.
29, 2 rounds prep. That spell goes off.
Oh, thank you. He's not going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
He's just simply has cast a spell so he can fly whenever he needs to.
Cool, done.
Thank you.
7.
Keeping still.
Mm-hmm. Tanya.
What can she see? Okay, so she can see the one guy's.
I'm just about to tell you what she can see. This man has been felled. This creature is reaches down, has a quick lick of the gasping blood out of his neck. Does turn and glances in Tanya's direction. And then shambles off out of view over this way. This stage, that's what she can see.
Okay, alright, she'll be perceiving with her ears and eyes as much as possible.
Okay. Another of these things shambles around the side into Tanya's field of vision, and it moves to. Oh, this map is just driving me nuts, folks. I'm sorry. There we go. Moves to about there and pauses, and it has a sniff. So it uses its sense of smell, and I'm going to roll this in the open. Exclamation mark R space D100. High roll is bad for you. A low roll is good for you. Here's the roll. And its nose twists up, and its head snaps around. And it starts padding in your direction, slowly, but padding up towards Askell. It was a little bit further back, it's kind of a little bit back here, and it moves up to there at the end of the round. Askell, now it is some 26 foot away from you, Askell. Not that you know this, but 26 foot away from you, and a mirage wall is in between you and it. That is the end of the round.
Chris, yeah, I'd like to use my opportunity action to fly.
To fly.
Yep.
You said you're going to cast, and you were.
Yep. So there is a threat.
Yeah.
Very obviously smelled something and moved away.
I thought you meant a threat on you.
Nope, just threats. And it's clearly threat. He knows vaguely where this party is.
Okay. But
if you don't want to allow me, that's fine.
But you were preparing sleep, weren't you? I thought.
Oh, I was preparing to cast. Yep. So, but no, he's not going to cast sleep. He's going to cast fly. No one
I would.
never says what spell they're going to cast. if you want me to use 10% of my action to change the bell that I said I was going to use a minute ago, that's fine. If you don't want me to do it,
No. Okay, go with that. Yep. Give me a roll to cast. Cast play.
4.
Sorry.
4.
4. That is a spell failure, I'm afraid. Give
Prepare
me.
4 rounds.
Sorry. Yeah, for sure. But that is still a spell failure.
32.
Sassy. Yeah, there it is. Now, it's a non-offensive spell, so you do have that. In your favour. What was the roll, please? 22?
32.
32, thank you. Moderate mental lapse causes the caster to cast an ineffectual spell, but not lose the spell points. So, very fortunately, no spell points lost, but just opportunity lost this round. And at that moment, folks, at 3 minutes to 10, unless people want to play on until 10:30, I'm going to suggest.
I'm completely done. I'm going to go. I'm still at work.
What was that? Sorry, Giles?
I'm going to have to go. I'm done. Sorry.
Okay. Sure thing. Okay,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, happy to wrap it up there.
Done.
Goodness. Yikes.
Askel, suggestion for Sophocles.
I was going to say Giles / Otto for his braveness, standing on top of a ridge and percepting, and yeah.
Nice one. Nice one. Tricky one for me to try to narrate because I ended up giving away lots more information than I should have. But there we go. Call it a freebie.
Well, to be honest, though, I mean, we only play what we know anyway, so.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, I don't know how much will change of our. Yeah.
No,
Actually.
I mean, you know, it's good to see. I mean, otherwise you just spend it in the dark, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Excellent.
My goodness, where do you come up with those creatures?